Hello there, and welcome to Ancient Theories channel. What was the purpose of pyramids in Egypt? So, a lot of people are in disagreement here because Egyptologists believe that pyramids were tombs, when there is other people believing it wasn't tombs. Okay? They have ideas, a lot of ideas about what it was about, but the main conflict is, was or wasn't it a tomb? Okay? And here's one take on this matter. First of all, the pyramids in Egypt are there many pyramids, of course, are wonders, engineering wonders and mysteries today, and we still don't know exactly how they were built. But the question for today isn't how they square it, how they build the stones, etc., because it's local to get them that. Today, we are wondering why they are built. The thing is that we have not one pyramid scheme here, because we have to understand something. First of all, the oldest pyramids are dated, it's speculative, but they are dated around 2600 BCE. And those pyramids are made with grindstones inside and limestone outside. And those are pyramids in Giza Plateau, and Saqqara, and Dashur, etc. So those pyramids are made with hard stones. They are huge. They are talking about them today, and we have not found any bodies inside of those structures. Then, around 2200s, there is no more. We have one last pyramid in Saqqara of Tepi II, and it's hard stop. And the pyramids for the last 200 years, from 2400s to 2200s BC, are lesser. Then we have about 250 years of no pyramids at all till the Middle Kingdom. And the pyramids in the Middle Kingdom are made of mud rock and limestone inside, sometimes coral limestone, but there is no hardstone granites. There are lesser than the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and all of them are downhill from the last Old Kingdom period pyramids. And this time, those pyramids still don't have any bodies inside, but we believe they were at least some kind of a symbol of a tomb, or they were maybe a tombs but logged by robbers. And if you feel like those Middle Kingdom pyramids were made for something else than tombs, that's okay. I don't know, but I truly believe those pyramids were made as some kind of shrines for those dead pharaohs. Okay? Because the evidence with these lost mummies is this, that they might being moved here, or maybe they used to rob them, and that they were recovered in ancient times. Then those Middle Kingdom pyramids are built for 150 years, and after 1800s BCE, then there is no more. There's no point of building more pyramids with these mud bricks. And in New Kingdom in Egypt, there is no more pyramids. There are only tombs in the Valley of the Kings and there is only one pyramid, and its symbol of a tomb for Ahmose first in 1500 BC. And there's no more pyramids in Egypt, but we have also pyramids in Sudan, and Sudan was called then Kush or Punt. And those pyramids are made in 800 BC, 600 BC, 300 BC, and even in current age till the year of 300, so not thousands, hundreds. And those are made of sandstone and mud bricks, or regular bricks, and those are really small. It's like 10 to 30 meters of height. And we have a lot of those. And we have found mummies or bodies in a lot of those in Sudan. Okay? So we have those pyramids in Sudan, we have bodies. We have one pyramid from New Kingdom, 1500 BC, and it's just a symbol. We know it's not a real tomb, it's just something like shrine for Ahmose the First. Then we have mud brick Middle Kingdom pyramids, and we don't really we are not sure if those are tombs, but they probably were, or maybe those were also symbols and shrines for those dead pharaohs. And we have those old pyramids with limestone granite, and we have no bodies found inside, no tools or any valuable jewelry inside for those that follows. Okay? Then why that there is this thing of building a pyramid here? So hypothetical is that in the year about 2500 BCE, they stopped building the pyramids. And why? Because those structures don't work as intended. And after that, 500 years later, people are trying to mimic the ancestor and ancestors and build something alike, like a symbol to the older times. And that's the point. And everything downhill from there is just a misconception. These pyramids in Sudan are made by, let's say, fan base of legal Egypt class. Okay? So these Punt guys thought to themselves and felt they will use these techniques from Middle Egypt, and they will create those tombs in the shape of pyramids to mimic the Middle Kingdom Egypt. When we have Middle Kingdom Egypt, they actually don't know why the pyramids are made. They are just building something similar. They are mimicking the ancestors. So there is no point of wondering why they stop building them. In Sudan, they didn't stop. They just used this as a tombs. Okay? In the Middle Kingdom, they stopped, and in Young Kingdom, in New Kingdom, they decided to just go to Valley of the Kings and made tombs here and hide it from robbers. So my idea is that the idea of mud brick pyramids as a tomb in Middle Kingdom was something considered a true thing, and in Egyptian minds, robbing a dead pharaoh was something taboo, and they were not thinking about this. And after hundreds of years, they robbed them, and they decided to hide their dead pharaohs in the Valley of the Kings. But why they are building mud-brick pyramids if they already knew that they will be robbers robbing the pyramids after the Old Kingdom and stone pyramids? The thing is, they didn't, because the Old Kingdom pyramids were not tombs. They were something else. And in the year 2500 BCE, they stopped. Why? Because those pyramids were bad design. And why they were bad design? So there's a lot of clever people telling that because it cost money and rest houses and there was no more surplus of workmen and etc. So yeah, that's okay, but even with their surplus of workmen, we are still building polar prawns, okay? So we are still building buildings and castles and everything else. It's not like everybody is going to war, but we are expecting that people will build smaller pyramids after all. But no, they're stopping. There are no more. It's hard stop. So why? What did happen in 2200 BCE is about 52 years of drought. There was climate change, and actually we are experiencing this climate change till this day. Okay? So, as you may see, Egypt is not a really fun place to live right now. It's a desert with one river. But before 2500 BC, it was more green. And after this big 50 years of drought, there was no hope because, you see, there was no food for everybody. And if the pyramids were built there and people knew that there are some droughts going on in Egypt for years, it was like sometimes it was 3 years of drought, sometimes it was 7 years of drought. And when there is 50 years of drought, there is no hope left. We have some inner conflict. And if the pyramids were built before and they are not being built after, then the belief in pyramids is gone. It's like they are appended and are not writings about then Old Kingdom pyramids. It's like dead project now, right now. So why? Circulations are that somebody tried to hide the location of dead pharaohs. Let's be clear, there are huge stone pyramids in the desert. Everybody sees them. It's not like a big mystery. There is something going on there. If you are not telling me the pharaoh is inside, that's okay. I'm still wondering what's inside and I'm going inside, okay? So there's no point. But if it was a project that was more like something today's dam, Hoover Dam, for example, and it didn't work, it didn't stop the flood, then we are not going to still use Hoover Dam. We are going to build another dam, better dam. But Egyptians didn't made better pyramid. They actually made worse pyramids. Cheap of pyramids with mud brick. So what's the deal here? You see, in the last decades, we are using a lot of coal in our plants, in our electric plants. We are generating power from coal. And we are now talking about this CO2 emission, and we are trying to stop this emission by abandoning this coal mining and coal burning for electricity process. And our old other plants using coals are abandoned, and we leave them because not they are not working, but they are bad for our environment. So let's say there's a lot of people believing that these structures were some kind of polar plants, like Nikola Tesla called there's some going on here similar to uh, projects with batteries. It's debunked. It's not polar plant. By Nikola Tesla, it's not generating anything like any magnetic field. It's not here, but it's really worth considering. And there are other people believing it was like atomic battery storage, atomic reactor, etc. We have no evidence here, but listen, if we are looking for examples, let's talk about the Ukraine. There is Chernobyl with its reactor, and it's actually modern being a pyramid. We built a sarcophagus out of concrete to secure the molten reactor. And we are not going there. We are not talking about it. We are creating some documentaries and we are writing all this, but we are not trying to make it work again. They are learning and they are making new reactors, but we left the old one. So why we left it? Because it's toxic. It's doing nothing good. It's not working, and it won't be working in the future. We are not going to patch it. So when ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, and there was drought, and they didn't bring any new constructors to the work field and didn't construct new pyramids after the drought for 500 years, then the design must be bad. And they must decided to change their approach and build something else. If other electrical plants like polar plants and coal plants are bad, we are abandoning them and we are building new ones, atomic ones, nuclear reactors, like, and you're using renewable energy. So something which is very different than coal plants. So we have this coal plant, nuclear reactor, and wind turbines. Those three things are very different from the perspective of human being. Those structures are fundamentally different, but their purpose is the same. They are generating electricity. The pyramids were similar design and they were abandoned because they didn't work, or maybe the Egyptians found a way, better way to do the thing which were supposed to be doing in pyramids by different design. And what was in 2500 BC the equivalent of power? It was water flow. Those civilizations, ancient civilizations, are hydrodynamic civilizations. So if they found a way to use pyramids for any hydrodynamic purposes, then they have advanced their technology and decided, hey, it's easier to do the thing, do these canals, dams, and etc., rather than building these massive stone blocks, running from limestone. But I am not sure if the pyramids were controlling the water flow. I am more like they believed that the pyramids controlled the waterfall and water flow, and the pyramids were meant to stabilize the Nile river and ensure there is no more drought. And after 52 years of drought, with pyramids in work, there is no hope left. We have to build another one because it's no point. Even if the priest told me we more pyramids to ensure there is no drought. No, we don't. We just don't. We don't need these ancient pumps of water or tumblers or whatever it was, because we have this proof, 52 years of proof that there is no point in building that. What's funny is that we have also decades of proof about global warming, and we have decades of proof about CO2 emission. In not BCE, in current times, about 70 years ago, we researched that CO2 is concentrating in the atmosphere, and after 30 years of research and the modeling with 90s computers, we have established in 1988 that, yeah, CO2 emission impacts climate change and we are going to boil this planet. So after 1988, we have about 40 years of evidence that we are causing climate change. And these 40 years are the reason why we are abandoning these coal plants and using wind turbines, solar power, and nuclear energy instead. And my guess is that it takes human civilization about 50 to 60 years to stop using certain technology, because it's the span of one generation, about 60, 70 years now, to abandon old technology and use new technology instead. So my take is the pyramids were built by older people, and after 52 years of drought, there were no more older people believing and trying to convince younger people that we have to build more pyramids to ensure the river Nile will make us whole again, great again, because it won't. It's no point. The old technology is dead now after 52 years of drought, 50 to 52 years of drought. And same is here. We are like 40 years in this process. We are believing now that the climate change is real. Not everybody, but a lot of people believe this. Europe is going hard on this topic and trying to convince everybody that even smoking cigarettes generate CO2, and delivering your Amazon package delivers CO2, and the same goes with West world all along. And in 10 years from now, we are going to speed the things up. We are going to change our technology, abandon coal mining, coal plants, and we are going to invest tremendous amounts of money to develop new kind of generating electricity and replacing older cars with newer cars with electric motors, okay? Or maybe new technology like hydrogen power. We have other motors than regular ones and electric ones. We have also hydrogen technology going on. We have Tesla Mirai 2 or something like that. So my point of view is that the pyramids were made to ensure that the Nile will flourish. And after 52 years of drought, there was nobody alive in Egypt to tell people or convince young people to continue creating pyramids. It's not like it was hard. Of course, everything is hard. But what was the point? And there is There's no point because there is a drought. And if I'm talking to you, listen, man, we need to build a pyramid because we have drought. And I will tell you that we have a few pyramids in the desert, and they are not generating anything. They are just standing there. Why can't we repair them? And the reason is known because, yeah, they were always broken by design. They have done nothing. Okay? And you may speculate something else. You can tell me I am full of crap, and I am. And there are a lot of very well structured theories about these chemical plants and nuclear batteries and others. But there are no evidence for those theories. We have no, if they are true, then why they stopped. Okay, they don't know. And the main reason of stopping some technology is to change the design or find a flaw in the design or kill everybody who knew how to build this. But the third thing is not placed right in Egypt. There was somebody who knew how to build it, but he wasn't keen on doing so. I'm not sure if there was somebody, but there was somebody who knew it is possible and it could be done, and maybe it should be done, but he didn't have a willpower to move this plan into motion because there was no point, because the pyramids did nothing from his perspective. So what he did nothing. For the next 500 years, they did nothing alike. And after that, new people, 500 years later, tried to emulate those structures with mud brick. And those structures were built, but they were doing nothing. So they stopped again. And not only they were doing nothing, they were robbed. They were bad by design. So they changed the design and tried to create ancient hidden tombs in the Valley of the Kings. And after that, other people in Sudan tried to emulate them and create own tombs with those techniques. And they could build bigger pyramids, but they didn't know how to do so. But they tried. So if Punt people in Sudan could build pyramids, smaller but still, then why the Old Kingdom Egyptians didn't build smaller pyramids? It's the same reason for the Middle Kingdom pyramids. They were bad by design. You are not going to do some stupid thing again. You are learning, because that's what humankind does. We are learning. We are not trying not to make the same mistake again. So if I'm going to build a pyramid and place there my dead father, pharaoh, and place there a lot of treasures, and the robbers will rob this place, then I am not going to build the same structure for me. It was a bad idea by design. I'm going to put my rest in hidden place. Okay? And if so, then why did Middle Kingdom Egyptians build mud brick pyramids? In the first place, didn't they knew about Old Kingdom pyramid being robbed? Maybe they even robbed them themselves. No, because those structures were ancient for them. They didn't know about the purpose of them. They were like, wow, those are very big structures, and We don't know why they are there. We don't know what they were doing with them. So why? And the reason why is unknown for us. But even for Old Kingdom Egyptians, the purpose was lost about 2500 BC. And we have this funny thing with 52 years of drought, which is enough to convince everybody that something doesn't work. That's my take on this matter. And I know there are a lot of people here, and if you are still watching this, great, but there are a lot of independent researchers believing that those structures were built in 13,000 years ago period of last ice age, maybe before last ice age, etc. But I don't really know about this anything. And if they did build this in this time, then they think about building more, and then convincing everybody to build more pyramids. And after that, there's no point of building more because, well, it doesn't work. Makes sense too. Okay, it's not like I am strict about this time frame. I am strict about this time frame from New Kingdom to Sudan, but about Old Kingdom, I am not sure if those are the people who build it, but I think it's more probable that the people from 10,000, 13,000 years ago built it. Maybe I am wrong, but that's my take here. Okay, that's enough for today. Don't eat me alive. Till we meet again.